Would Dr. Huxtable like some coffee?
Coffee?
Yeah, coffee.
You mean you're gonna get it?
Yes? You're surprised?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Huxtable. I didn't think you did that kind of thing.
What kind of thing?
You know, serve.
Serve whom?
Serve him.
Oh, serve him! As in serve your man?
Well, yeah.
Let me tell you something, Elvis. You see, I am not serving Dr. Huxtable, okay?
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that goes on in a restaurant. Now, I'm going to bring him a cup of coffee, just like he brought me a cup of coffee this morning. And that, young man, is what marriage is made of. It is give and take 50-50. And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never going to have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever. A great job to me.
It is. It really is.
And I'm sure that they'll have all the money they need while Sandra goes to law school. Honey, this is going to work out.
Mom?
Yes.
I'm not going to law school.
What?
I decided not to go to law school.
What do you mean you decided not to?
Well, this is our dream, and so I'm going to get a temporary job until the wilderness store opens, and then I'll be working side by side with my husband.
Sandra, what are you saying? You have always wanted to go to law school. You've never talked about anything else.
I changed my mind.
Change it back. After all the money we spent sending you to Princeton? Sandra, you owe us $79,648.22, and I want my money now. I'm not going anywhere till I get my money. I'll take whatever she's got. Empty her pockets.
At your wobble, then he's gonna say no.
Denise, you are not getting this money to buy this car if your father doesn't approve. Well, now, wait a minute.
Well, I don't understand the problem here. It's my money in my bank account in my name. You're acting like I'm asking you for your money, and I'm not. It's my money, and I can do what I want with it. Are we still in America, or what?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
What?
Theo.
Dad, this is important.
Wait in the kitchen, please. Now, do you want to go first, or should I?
I want to go first.
Okay.
Come sit here. You see, you're ready to plunge in and buy this car, just like you were with that bracelet, the waterbed, and the dead fish. And at this point in your life, you can do pretty much what you please because you know in the back of your mind that we're always there to bail you out. We're your safety net. You see, we're so good at it, half the time you don't even know we're doing it. Well, your father and I accept that responsibility because we're your parents. And you better remember that, young lady. Because if you ever take this attitude with us again, you can take whatever is in that bank account of yours and go discover America.
Okay. So if you have been here long enough to have watched the Roseanne is Everything, the Roseanne is America video, you're going to love this one. I hinted at it and the wait is over. It's okay. So we're going to give some more context. So the Roseanne is Everything video, here's the thing, like, I feel like people don't believe me when I keep saying, no, seriously, like, we live in a segregated society. Like, if you have multiple identities, like, let's say, like, my dad is Habesha, so I can enter Habesha communities. My mom is Black American. I can enter Black American communities. My grandma's like a Louisiana Creole. I can enter that community. I don't know why some people, especially the Latinos, call me Moreno. I think they think I'm Brazilian, so I could probably, like, kind of enter that community. But, like, let's say you only have one identity, like you're just, like, a fat white person or something. That community is the Everything is Roseanne community. And I feel like, unfortunately, I have had to, like, interact with that. Oh, God, the Roseannes are just everywhere. So if you haven't seen that video, you should go watch it because it's kind of like this cultural anthropologic study on how to interact with, well, it's not just how to interact with them, not to separate video. It's more like identifying, like, who they are, the character traits, where they go, how they talk, the, like, you know, what their values and morals are. Because once you understand that, you can, like, swiftly move around it. I kind of wrote that one after I saw like the Exotical channel, the Brown Skin Exotical. She wrote something where it was basically she was talking about how like she kept encountering Roseanne managers in her life. And I was like, oh my God, I know. I thought it was just me. And then she said it and I was reading the comments and it was just like 350 comments of other women who had the same experience. And I was like, we gotta give this like a proper name. So if you saw that video, the video about Darlene, I'm gonna try to profile all the characters actually in Roseanne so we can have archetypes for those. I feel like the fat white dude with the beer, he's like one of the Lukes. I think it's that one, the Luke, the guy with the beer. Like he's always writing a song about the beer. He's like Dan. In Roseanne, he's him. It's just like, oh my God. You have to have like a character profile. But the funny thing is there's like a million episodes of Roseanne. So each one, you can just watch it and then see what they do, see what they say. That's how you can study Roseanne. It is a literal welcome to America, like all of middle America. Except I do think that there's some parts you need to understand like Christian nationalism, a bit about obesity, a little bit more about what it means to be lower income, uneducated. Like you need to understand the blue collar workforce. So if you watch the Roseanne video, the Dan video, and the Morgan Wallen video, put those all together. I think I put them in a playlist. If not, I will read the description box. Anyway, moving on. So in direct contrast to Roseanne and Dan, let's talk about Claire Huxtable. The reason we need to talk about Claire Huxtable is not that Claire Huxtable is all Black mothers. She's not even most Black mothers, but she is the Oaks Bluff Black mother. Now, the thing is, if you've seen any episode of The Cosby Show, you will realize very quickly there won't be a day in hell where Roseanne and Claire would ever come across each other. Not on the street, not at work, not in nowhere. The whole reason that it was really important, I don't think it's important for the Oaks Bluffs Blacks to come outside. Like I said, the blackademics like to hide in their own corners of the world. And unless you are shoulder tapped to enter Martha's Vineyard, you're not going. So you wouldn't know that they exist. So Roseanne doesn't know what Oaks Bluff is. Roseanne doesn't know what Martha's Vineyard is because Roseanne is never going. Do you see what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you are here, you might actually come across some Oaks Bluff people. I've covered many real Oaks Bluff people on this here channel. So anyway, let's just unpack some character traits of Claire. If you want, I think actually, I don't know if I've publicly talked about Bari, but Bari is a good example of Claire, right? Bari is a corporate lawyer. She's written 3 books. She's definitely a Claire. Anyway, so let's start. So an introduction, a cultural landmark and character form. Claire Huxtable, as played by Felicia Rashad, occupies a singular space in American television history. More than just the matriarch of The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992, she embodied a very particular archetype. The attractive, well-educated, socially confident Black woman in a refined urban setting. So, a couple of things to remember here. If we were talking about Claire in 2025, Claire lives in an actual brickstone. Claire has pretty privilege, and a fucking lot of it. Claire could also be trotting down the runway. Claire is not a Whole Foods mom. Claire's like an Erewhon mom. I haven't talked about the Erewhon mom, but if you've seen the Whole Foods mom depiction, she would be like Jasmine Tukes, except it's a little bit different because Jasmine Tukes didn't need to go to Harvard. Claire actually went to Harvard and is married to the doctor. Jasmine Tukes is married to the Airbnb tech bro, right? So that's a little bit different. Anyway, so let's keep going. She's got the brickstone in the New York setting. The Huxtable brownstone in Brooklyn Heights, portrayed as an upper middle class neighborhood, was more than just a backdrop. It symbolized old money sensibilities without actually being old money in the WASP sense. The home reflected a sense of permanence and taste, hardwood floors, bookshelves, tasteful art, signaling that Black success was not only possible but sustainable across generations. So one thing I think is kind of funny, I don't know why, but like the Cardi B's and the Lil Waynes have tried to take the like new money, right? They had the whole young money thing. And I do think that they have young money, but they're not Oaks Bluffs blackademics, right? The political correctness of the blackademics is that serious differentiator. It's the Michelle Obama new money, not the Cardi B new money. Michelle Obama grew up broke too, but also Michelle Obama went to Princeton, right? Like Princeton Law and married Barack Obama. So that's very different from Cardi B shaking ass on MTV. That's not the same thing. Okay. So wait, let's keep going. So, the power of the professional marriage. Claire's marriage to Cliff Huxtable, a physician, was central to her image. Together, they formed a black power couple whose professions, lawyer and doctor, carried weight in any social sphere. This positioned the family not just as financially comfortable, but as culturally authoritative. Their voices mattered in conversations about art, politics, and education. Okay, so now here's the meat and potatoes of this entire essay. The polar opposite of Roseanne. If Roseanne represented the no-nonsense working class white mom in a modest home in Illinois, Claire was her diametric opposite. She was polished where Roseanne was brash, cosmopolitan where Roseanne was small town. Their differences weren't just about race, they were about class, aesthetic, and world view. Claire's presence challenged the assumption that black women on television should be rooted in struggle narratives. A contrast with the poor Hispanic Walmart mom trope, where media often showed Hispanic mothers working long shifts, managing tight budgets, often framed with sacrifice and survival. Claire embodied a lifestyle choice rather than necessity. Her role allowed black audiences to see a vision of family life free from constant financial precarity, while also showing non-black audiences that such domestic stability was not racially exclusive. That's kind of important, especially in the world of Roseanne. Here's the other thing, and I've got to be honest about this. The reason that I wrote the Roseanne essay is because I'd never watched Roseanne. That motherfucker was on for like a million seasons, and no point in my life did I ever think to watch fat white people on television. Like, no, not a day in my life has gone by where I was like, this is interesting in some way. It was repulsive. And so like that's what I'm saying. The polar oppositeness is important. There are the Huxtables and the Oaks Bluffs. Then there's the Morgan Wallens and the Roseannes. There's no point where those people cross paths. I just wrote an essay about it because I watched a couple episodes and I was like, ooh, I see her. She keeps popping up. This fat bitch is everywhere. She's literally everywhere. There's like a million of her. Okay, so she's also not the Whole Foods mom. The modern Whole Foods mom archetype, often white, fitness-oriented, Instagram curated, differs from Claire in key ways. Whole Foods moms tend to commodify wellness and aesthetics, often detached from political consciousness. Claire's elegance was grounded in cultural capital. Her legal intellect, her familiarity with the arts, her wit, not just organic groceries and boutique yoga. So this is the part where the Mona Lisa smile and the Mrs. degree comes in. I do appreciate the comments from the Mrs. degree video. I do think that there are a lot of members of the black community who don't know what the Mrs. degree is. So hopefully that did introduce a few people who were unaware to the concept. But the refined elegance of Claire, it falls right into that, right? Like Claire and Cliff met in college. That's important. This has been unpacked in Living Color a few times, except the only part is like in Living Color didn't go far enough. There's like a different world. I'm sorry, not Living Color, a different world. A different world simply got to the point where admission happened, but it didn't get to the point where family life after happened, which was kind of what the Cosby Show was. But like we needed that to go on. Like if I don't know what the hell, there was a whole bunch of shit that happened with Denise where they were supposed to get a spinoff, but then she was excluded from the show or something. But watching Denise and her family with Raven Simone and all that shit would have been the next step to this trajectory of like the Whole Foods mom, because like Denise kind of would have been that. Anyway, so beauty as an unspoken form of authority. Claire's physical beauty was never the center of her character's narrative, but it was undeniably part of her authority. She was the pretty black snobby bohemian. Her style and poise lent her moral and intellectual arguments additional weight in the show. She wore her beauty with a restraint that said, "This is not the point, but it's also undeniable." Bohemian without poverty. In media, bohemianism is often tied to financial instability. Think artists in tiny apartments. And Claire redefined it. She could be worldly, interested in arts, socially progressive, and yet embedded in material comfort. She proved that bohemian taste didn't require being broke. A role model for black professionalism. For black viewers in the 80s, Claire Huxtable was aspirational in a way that went beyond fashion or home decor. She modeled professional ambition for women, intellectual equality within marriage, and the ability to hold boundaries without losing warmth. She represented a possible future that mainstream TV had long denied black audiences. The nuance of snobby. Claire's snobbiness was not cruelty, it was discernment. She had standards for behavior, for speech, for ethics. This refusal to accept mediocrity was coded as snobby in a television culture used to bumbling or self-deprecating mothers. In a way, her snobbery was a refusal to downplay excellence for the comfort of others. Bridging the civil rights era and the yuppie era. Claire's generation came of age at the tail end of the civil rights movement and stepped into the 1980s professional class. Her character bridged those worlds, politically aware enough to challenge injustice, but socially adept in elite circles. This dual fluency made her both relatable and aspirational. Representation as cultural intervention. At a time when many sitcoms relied on racial stereotypes for comedic value, Claire's character was an intervention. She reframed black motherhood as stylish, articulate, and respected without making race invisible. The Huxtables were black, not colorblind, and their cultural references, music, and parenting reflected that. A template that's rarely replicated. While there have been other affluent black mothers on television since, few have captured Claire's balance of intellect, elegance, and warmth. Characters like Rainbow Johnson on Black-ish echo her influence, but Claire remains unique for how she combined traditional maternal authority with cosmopolitan sophistication. I would actually like to unpack that just a little bit more. I think that Rainbow Johnson and her biracialness, the fact that she came from a Karen, changes everything. Claire was black on both sides. Claire was much more Michelle Obama than Rainbow Johnson. Like, Rainbow Johnson being biracial made it so that her experience had something to do with whiteness. And Claire's experience had nothing to do with whiteness. So every part of her history and every part of her future was seeped in her being black. So she was a black woman before, during, after, and her entire family was also black. And that was really important, actually. So I don't think that it is fair or accurate to compare those two people. I think that Black-ish tried to do that by, making certain character arcs look a particular way. Like, there were just way too many light-skinned people, I think, in that show for it to be more accurate of like an Oaks Bluff family. I think the other shows like Baldwin Hills or really anything that Issa Rae would produce where there's way more continental Africans would be a more accurate representation of black bobos or bohemian black people. Wealthy bohemian black people. Anyway, so in conclusion, why Claire still matters. Claire Huxtable wasn't just a character, she was a cultural counter-narrative. She defined the limited roles available to Black women on TV, challenged class stereotypes, and offered a portrait of Black family life that was aspirational without being fantastical. In the landscape of American motherhood archetypes, from Roseanne to the Whole Foods mom, Claire stands apart as the embodiment of Black bohemian elitism, a reminder that representation can be both affirming and transformative.